a call for free passage through the Panama and Suez canals, an examination of American exceptionalism and challenges to international law. The proposal put forth by former President Donald Trump to grant free passage for all U.S.-flagged vessels through the Panama and Suez canals has stirred considerable debate and ignited a series of complex discussions about sovereignty, international law, and the role of the United States in global affairs. Trump's argument that the two canals wouldn't exist without U.S. intervention calls into question the very essence of these vital maritime routes, while also highlighting a deeply ingrained sense of American exceptionalism. This essay seeks to analyze the ramifications of such a proposal, its legal implications, and the broader geopolitical consequences of undermining the sovereignty of Panama and Egypt, the two nations that control the Panama and Suez canals, respectively. At the heart of Trump's proposal is a claim that the United States has played an indispensable role in the establishment and continued operation of these crucial trade passages. According to this argument, the U.S. government's past involvement in the construction and maintenance of the Panama Canal and its historical ties to the Suez Canal justify a right to unrestricted passage. Trump's directive to Secretary of State Rubio to get it done immediately demonstrates the urgency and conviction with which he pursued this vision. However, such a stance undermines the sovereignty of the countries that now control the canals and overlooks the political and diplomatic agreements that have shaped their modern operations. The Panama Canal, once a U.S.-led engineering marvel, is often viewed as one of the greatest achievements of American ingenuity. After its construction in the early 20th century, the canal became a symbol of U.S. power and influence in the Western Hemisphere. However, following the Torrijos-Carter treaties of 1977, the United States officially relinquished control of the canal to Panama in 1999. This transfer of authority marked a significant shift in the geopolitics of the region and recognized Panama's sovereignty over the canal. Despite this, Trump's proposal to allow U.S. vessels free passage challenges Panama's authority, asserting that the United States deserves privileges not granted to other nations. Similarly, the Suez Canal, which connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea, has long been a point of contention in global geopolitics. After decades of foreign control, including British and French involvement, the canal was nationalized by Egypt in 1956 under the leadership of President Gamal Abdel Nasser. The Suez Canal has since become a symbol of Egyptian nationalism and sovereignty. It is not merely a vital trade route, but a point of pride for Egypt, which uses the canal as a critical source of national revenue and geopolitical leverage. The notion that the United States should demand free passage through the canal ignores Egypt's historical struggles for control and its continuing efforts to assert its rights over this important asset. One of the most troubling aspects of Trump's proposal is its potential conflict with international law. Freedom of navigation, a principle enshrined in various international treaties, allows vessels to pass through international straits and waterways. However, this principle is not absolute. The passage of vessels through man-made canals, such as the Panama and Suez canals, is subject to the sovereignty of the nation that controls the waterway. These canals are not merely international spaces. They are national assets, governed by laws that reflect the interests and priorities of the countries that maintain them. To suggest that U.S. vessels should be granted unrestricted access to these canals is to disregard the legal rights of Panama and Egypt to control their own territories and resources. Moreover, the demand for free passage raises significant questions about the implications for global trade and security. The Panama and Suez canals are among the most strategically important waterways in the world, facilitating the movement of goods and services across continents. The U.S. government's interventionist stance could result in a disruption of established trade routes, leading to delays, increased shipping costs, and potential instability in international supply chains. Furthermore, If the U.S. were to pressure Panama and Egypt to allow free passage, it could set a dangerous precedent that encourages other powerful nations to make similar demands of countries that control key international shipping lanes. The geopolitical ramifications of this proposal are also significant. In a world where international relations are becoming increasingly complex, Trump's approach reflects a narrow and outdated view of American exceptionalism, the belief that the United States has a unique right to intervene in global affairs based on its historical,